And another great thing to look at when it comes to limiting beliefs is, are you coping or are you thriving? Are you coping and trying to get past these limiting beliefs by not really addressing the root cause? Or are you thriving? Are you noticing limiting beliefs and then eradicating them? Are you realizing that there is abundance? That, wow, you know, this limiting belief has been here, but, you know, I could choose out of all that exists in the cosmos to realize that there is an abundance. That if for some reason I'm stuck in stagnation here, there's probably another way that I can go about it. I need to get out of the box, get out of my head, become more expansive, and look at everything that there is, and not be blinded by, you know, that coping, that scarcity, that limiting belief that would try to keep me focused on, you're a failure, you didn't accomplish anything, you're never going to accomplish anything. Gotta eradicate that coping where you would be like, wow, well, judgment, I technically haven't, you know, accomplished what I wanted, so the limiting belief is still there, and I'm gonna continue to cope, but for now I'll distract myself with stimulus. Yes, all right. So the limiting belief is still there. I still do not believe that I can do this, but right now I feel better about myself because I drowned it all out with, you know, some stimulus, or I did a little bit of something to try to address that limiting belief. You know, I was like, well, if I can't do anything about it now, then I guess I'll do a little something, and that little something will be a small step forward. Okay, well, I got a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I still am doubting myself. So I made, instead of taking a huge step forward and stacking it as a win, going into thriving, wow, I'm taking action, I'm getting out of my head, I'm in abundance, I did this. Wow, yeah, I did something, I feel a little bit better, but I'm still harboring that limiting belief. You get pulled back into that judgment, as opposed to being like, you know, I want to thrive, I'm not going to cope. I'm not going to temporarily put a blanket over this issue of the limiting belief by just taking action to, you know, forget about it, to try to work towards addressing it, but not really diving deep. I'm gonna thrive now. Whoa, I took action. I'm starting to view the world differently. That limiting belief is seeming like a fairy tale of the past. I feel better about myself now. And that reference experience, invest in that core confidence. Invest in that view that you are enough. There's abundance, there's so much. So then, when you look at that limiting belief, it seems a lot smaller. It's like, rah. So then, instead of coping, you're shrinking that limiting belief, you're taking action, stacking reference experiences, thriving, not being stifled. You're like, oh, well, I stacked some reference experiences. Let me stack some more reference experiences. Oh, that limiting belief is seeming even less real than it did before. Oh, I stacked some more reference experiences. Oh, I'm thriving now. I addressed the limiting belief. I went to the root cause. I took action to prove myself wrong. Instead of taking action and doubting and judging, I took action from a place of, oh, I'm enough. It is what it is. And that's just one side of how coping and thriving plays into limiting beliefs. But the important thing is to address the limiting belief. To not try to mask it with temporary solutions, but to dive deep. Address it, and then shift that perspective by actually taking action. Proving yourself wrong. Getting yourself out of your head so that, you know, you've done it. I took action. Maybe I was tripping this whole time. And that limiting belief was poison dripping me. Oh no. Yeah, taking action helps you get out of your head, helps you to eradicate those limiting beliefs by stacking reference experiences from a place of taking action and doing. Instead of coping, trying to temporarily shift your perspective and then just going back to those old habits again.